I think one of the most powerful advantages that we have as an organization that is truly unique to Acrisure, called Acrisure Clinical Health Strategy. These are clinically leading, client-facing experts. And where some of our competitors have clinicians behind the scenes, they're not out on the front lines with all of you, talking to clients, talking to prospects, explaining what they do to actually improve the health and well-being of the employees of the groups that we serve. And not to mention the phenomenal work that they're doing to actually improve the outcomes. I mean, you can ask a woman, Fauti. So Fauti was on a flight from Palm Springs to Dallas. Michael Naparalla, our chief health director, happened to be on that flight leaving the Windmills conference. She stopped breathing, 30,000 feet in the air. He sprung into action. He saved her life. She walked off the plane because of Michael.
When Acrisure Arena opened up here about a year ago or so, to me it was just on another arena, but to me now Acrisure, it's embedded in my heart.
I enjoy being able to help people manage their medical problems and manage their medical plan and really help people seek the highest quality of care at the lowest cost. So I was in Palm Springs for Limitless and had just finished up an incredible conference, and I was traveling back to Dallas for my connection back home.
That night I got 2 hours of sleep and got up really early at 3 o'clock to get ready for my flight at 5:30. Once I sat in the plane, I just said, I'm gonna close my eyes and sleep.
We're about 20 minutes into the flight when a page came over from the flight team stating that there was a medical emergency on the flight.
Declaring medical emergency. Female passenger has collapsed. Requires immediate medical attention.
After takeoff, I fall asleep, and all of a sudden, somebody started tapping my shoulder, and I woke up, and I saw my wife. She was pointing at the aisle, goes like, Fauti, Fauti.
The passenger who was sitting in the middle seat had collapsed and was unconscious at this point. I immediately jumped up and began to help the person, and I was able to lower her to the ground, and at this point knew that it was a serious medical condition. We had no other choice but to deal with this medical emergency in the air and do what we could to save this person's life. I was able to get the IV fluids hanging with a hanger from the overhead compartment bin for the luggage, and Mac was assisting me at that point with holding the IV bag while I attempted to put the IV catheter in.
Now that time, it was very stressful because at the moment that he was trying to get the IV, all of a sudden we get to the point that the airplane, it was in the turbulence now.
Although they had an IV catheter, there was only one. So the problem was that I either needed to get this on the first attempt or we were not going to have that life-saving measure in place.
I don't know how he got this, but he managed to put the IV in Fauti's hand and save her life.
All I remember, I opened my eyes. I couldn't remember where I was. I was exhausted, confused, and scared, actually.
And that is when I was explaining to her what was going on because she was confused. She had no idea why she was on the floor of an airplane and really didn't remember much of what had happened.
Thank God and thank Michael that, this turned to a totally different point of view to life.
And I think it was from the universe giving us a sign that, take it easy, calm down, slow down, because life is just connected to this one little breath that can stop.
That day in that flight, Michael was like an angel that is flying all over the whole plane, trying to save somebody's life, which happens to be our best friend.
And I appreciate Michael for him to be able to help me and so many other people. Acrisure has a very special part in my heart now. Acrisure is Michael who has saved me. And thank you, Michael.
It is much more engaging and satisfying as a clinician to be able to help a member with a current problem they're having or help them prevent that problem to begin with.